Welcome, you're watching Tastoria. I'm joined by Ben.
Hi, Kylie.
Hello, Ben. And of course, the lovely Kate from Green and Blue.
That's right.
Green and Blue is?
Green and Blue is a wine shop, deli and bar in East Dulwich, and a wine bar with wines to take away as well in Clapham North. We only sell wines from, at most, medium-sized producers, and food actually, but mainly we concentrate on stuff from small producers. Most of it is organically grown, and some of it is biodynamically grown, and some of them are now made without sulfur as well. So we're getting into the completely pure, non-interventionist winemaking stable now. The idea behind Green and Blue was that we wanted a place where we were selling really what we think are absolutely the best wines in the world, whether that's a £5.95 bottle or a £150 bottle, but in an atmosphere that's really friendly and really relaxed and helpful. So you can spend hours browsing if that's what you want to do. We've got lots of notes on the shelf, or if you ask someone for help, they know what they're talking about and they can advise you. And in our bars, we try very hard to create places where, you know, you can come and just have an absolutely lovely time drinking great wine, which makes you feel good about the world and good about life, and good about yourself.
Well, you've got to put good stuff into yourself, otherwise you can't give out good stuff.
Of course, of course you do.
So what's in terms of the cuisine and the food, I mean, is it drawn from a European influence, or do you have a worldwide perspective?
Actually, Ben, we're starting to head towards, because there's nothing we can do about food miles with wine. Well, there is, but we don't want to do that.
I think your shelves would be bare, apart from English mead.
Well,
we
they
all know
would.
is lovely.
Which is lovely, but you can't really build a wine business on that. So increasingly, we're trying to source food from England. We've got lovely English hams.
Yeah.
We've got fantastic English cheeses. All our cheeses are English. But of course, we have olives, etc. as well. So we're European.
Not a slave to it, but it's
No,
nice
we're
to
not.
think that you're seasonal, local produce.
Exactly.
It's become a real mantra for so many people, and actually,
Yeah.
I think it's used a bit like the whole organic label.
Yeah.
It's used, a bit as a kind of we're organic, and then people are blinded by this organic light, and they don't see the product behind it.
Yeah.
And actually, I think I immediately got the impression, you walk in here, that actually the light isn't blinding. It's the thing that the light is coming from that is awesome, and obviously very very well thought out. Has a lot of integrity.
Yes.
Are the customers? I mean, do you have a good customer set here?
We have lovely customers.
Do you have to?
We really do.
Do they need teaching, or do they
They
generally?
do, but they're very open to that.
Yeah.
You know, we do tastings on a weekly basis almost. We run a 13-week wine course called School of Wine twice a year.
Sure.
And we did our first, what we called secondary School of Wine this year, which was a 6-week course just on France.
Are they based around any like the WSET wine spirits education?
Very loosely.
Right.
But there's much more emphasis on tasting.
Yeah.
And again, we want everyone to have fun. So there's a lot of information, but it's quite relaxed and informal. So, I mean, we place huge emphasis on educating our customers, but they're quite happy to be educated.
Can anyone taste wine? Like,
Yes.
are there people out there who just have no idea and quite blatantly will have no idea about wine? It doesn't matter how much you guide them in the right direction, they're just...
Yes, but they are very few and far between.
Okay.
We run a session called How to Taste Like a Professional, which we don't make any money on. I mean, we do have to make money on our tastings, not much, but we are a business after all. That one we see purely as a marketing exercise, because our view is that once you really know how to taste, it's very difficult to drink bad wine.
Yeah, that's good.
So it's a sort of 2-hour session, and we do the whole thing, how you use your senses, how you use your tongue, what you're looking for, etc. We even discuss what criteria you look for to decide whether a wine is any good or not.
Yeah.
And the idea being that then sets people up for life, because that's all you need, actually. You just need a session like that, and then it's up to you how much you practice.
Yeah. That's really cool. I think I tour around England quite a lot, like some sort of wine rock god. Without the god bit.
Sounds like the rock bit.
Yeah, all the rock bits. So some sort of wine.
Wino.
Wino. And it's amazing how you see the wine merchants that are really blossoming and growing and becoming really part of the local, not only the local community, but the national fabric of wine merchants, independent wine merchants, are the ones who are really proactive with education and fun, but with a really serious kind of intellectual, or not serious intellectual, but still
But
intelligent.
yes, absolutely.
Grounding. And the wine merchants who just sit there and go, yes, claret is really
Yes.
the only drink for me. Yeah, and I'm glad because those
Yeah.
kind of people, they're not all bad, but it's just brilliant to see that there is this thing. And you obviously got it down to a T. What are the other things you do to kind of drive the business forward? What other things are important to your customers? Well, and to you as well.
Well, I suppose we're not everything we stock at the moment is organic, but
Yeah.
we're increasingly. We hope that in 5 years' time it will be.
Sure.
Well, quality control is very important to us, which I think maybe, and I say this with sympathy, maybe some businesses don't always get right because it's amazingly hard. We keep our range quite small here deliberately because we don't want to blind people with choice, which I think happens sometimes, but also because it's easier to control. Wine is, if it's proper wine, it is biochemically alive, which is fabulous, but of course the downside of that is it's ever changing, and 1 week something is sublime, and a month later it's shuffled off this mortal coil, or it's just something's happened. So we're very stringent about that. We taste our own wines all the time.
I think we should taste one of your wines.
I
It's
think
sitting
you
there
should.
screaming out at me.
Shall I decant this?
Please
Puppy?
do. Ben,
Why
thank
are
you.
we decanting?
Okay, well this is an interesting wine. 2001 Domaine du Pech, which is in an appellation in France called Bouzet, which
That's a region in France.
most people probably won't have heard of, but it's basically between Toulouse and Bordeaux, and they grow Cabernet Franc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. They are permitted to grow a bit of Sauvignon as well.
You're pouring it down the side? Is that you're doing that for a particular
Well,
reason?
because you can see what's coming out of it, and I've actually got a good light slot
Are we
here, so
looking for something in particular to
with
come
this
out?
particular wine, what I'm looking for is sediment, okay? And I can see just through the neck here, and I can see there. I'm trying to pour the wine out to aerate it a little bit, so it's going down the side of the decanter, but I'm also trying to do it as delicately as possible. I don't want to hurt the wine. You wouldn't like to be thrown straight down a waterfall, and nor would this wine.
After you've been asleep for 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm also just, in this case, it's 2001, but the wine is not filtered or fined particularly. So it's going to have a lot of sediment. We don't want to drink that. And also, with a younger wine, okay, much younger wine that is really serious, sometimes you need to aerate it. And when you decant wines like that, you do it just to get the air in, and I'd be much more vigorous with my pouring, but I like to treat this like I treat my, and you all thought I was saying women, but actually I was going to say guitar.